We are live.
Hockey Nation fans, welcome back to another edition of the Hockey Nation live show with your host, Coach Frenchie, directly from the booth. And we have to go all the way to grow to find the only, the unique, the guy leaving the West Coast, sometimes in Texas, sometimes in the West Coast, depends where he's feel. But we have to find Michael DeVillano.
Good morning, Pierre. We had a crazy busy night. Lots of comebacks, lots of big stories.
You know, it's like it was busy, and we are lucky because 4 game was out. So imagine with
I know.
14 game, 28 teams, that would be crazy. So that gave us like more busier in the next couple of weeks. But at the end of the day, 20 team on action, 10 game to watch. It was really crazy. Three at 10 o'clock. So that gave me about 1 o'clock before recording the post game. So it's like you go to bed at 2:30 at that moment. So it's late when they play at 10 o'clock. And we have three, not only one, 3 games. So good game, by the way. Only the Kings was really not too much. But the Anaheim, it was amazing against Vegas. Was a good one. And then Calgary was a great game against Vancouver.
Not for
Any
Vancouver.
score you're going to talk today is not represent exactly happenings on the game. But at the end of the day, I think the star of the night was Mike Smith with the Oilers, Edmonton Oilers, honestly, and then John Gibson. Yeah, so that two there really was over, and then the collapse of the Chicago Blackhawks at the third period gave 4 goals to Columbus. It's funny because when it's really the first year for the many years I really follow hockey like deeply, like every game, or you asking me any question right now, I can give you the stats, I can give you I'm around everything, right? 24 hours. But it's amazing what Columbus doing right now. Like they can show up, score 2 goals, and then boom, you have score 6 the next night. So it's a roller coaster with Columbus, to be honest with you. 6 goals yesterday, 3 goals the prior, I believe, and then prior to that one, it was another 6 goal against Carolina, if you remember that one over there too. So 6 goal yesterday for Columbus without any goal from Patrick Laney.
That is crazy.
Yep.
It's hard to watch.
Bad, but it's good to see other players stand up. You know what I mean? Like Del Zotto score. So.
Yeah, and Michael scored. I think to how when I build a team at different level, I'm like, I emphasize that everybody's accountable to each other. I try to talk to the individual players. If there's problems, we have it out in the room. And it got to the point where players were holding each other accountable in a specific way, and I observed that from the outside in Columbus. It's hard to watch because we see so many great players leave, and I think there's guys that leave and do well, but then they keep winning. And I think they attribute their resilience and grit to come back in games like that. And you look at their record, and it usually defies the talent on the team. And it's weird. I don't know what to do about it.
At the end of the day, Michael, is about one thing, I believe. It's 2 things for me. It's about system.
A little bit.
And the work ethic.
Right, which goes back to they get
the work you said, grit, grander, block shot, sacrifice, pay the price.
No voodoo.
And you have to give credit to Tortorella, the mindset he applied. And think about this. The Laney, the Panarin, the Purposky, they are more the white player.
Absolutely.
When you got the blue collar players, everything stick with Tortorella.
For sure. Look
for Foligno and Columbus.
So I guess the question that is outstanding is, do they ever win enough to get to the promised land? Can they retain the star power? Because there's 2 things in playoffs, and they're very much a playoff team, which they block shots. They're able to shut things down defensively, but do they have enough firepower? Then they go and they score 6 goals. So it's confusing. And
they give a lot of goals in those games.
Like
so the 6 goals they score, they forget their defensive side every time because they win 6-3, 6-5, 6. No, it's not like
So
6-0,
crazy.
6-1, right?
They were
So
down, right?
it's a
Like
mix of both, I'll be honest with you. But
so
again, that's,
they
I'll
got
give you
no
an
number
example.
one center, Pierre. They have no number one centerman. Oh wait, sorry. His name is Jack Roslovic.
They, they discover one in NHL. Yeah, but some people like them showing up, and when you give an opportunity, now he's just someone you have to think consistency a little bit longer before you qualify him.
Sure.
But right now, he take advantage of that. He's a hometown kid, so he's doing well over there. And at the end of the day, that's great to see those players like him flourish, and they showed what he can do. And life is great for him over there, and that's a good thing about that part. But my point was to bring to you is this: since the NHL explode like many years ago, everywhere, every direction,
Yeah.
Florida, Arizona, and everything like that, it's not easy at different location team to keep the star
True.
consistent. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to play in Montreal or in Canada, look the tax you pay versus the one play in New York, Florida,
The
or
attention. Well, New York's
Vegas,
but
right?
the attention too, right? Like religion versus
I
having
think
a
a
normal life.
great example, Michael, I would say is Vegas.
Vegas
Look,
is
the
like
star, our star came back, turned to go that direction. You think, you know what I mean? It's more easier to trade and to attract Stone, Petrangelo, Pacioretty, and you know what I mean? Not
it's
said
Vegas.
wrong.
It's close to California.
The
It's
weather, the
nice,
nice place is great
cheap
for the
living.
family. Is good for the mom and for the wife. He can go all the way at play in Ottawa, whatever it is, or play in Columbus right now around playing further. And ask Jonathan Huberto, and I meet him a lot of time here. Ask him if he would like to play in Montreal or in Toronto or in Vancouver. He would not leave.
I don't think. Yeah,
They don't want to leave. But
he's a
Barkov,
man.
him,
Right? Like
they love Florida. They play golf. They do things. The family come there, and their life is great over there. They will pay St. Panthers less money to go north because the quality life they have around
yeah,
here.
that makes total sense.
So that's difficult for Columbus, something like that. That's difficult to
True.
keep those star. And I don't want to talk 20 minutes for that part, but I think that's the reality. That's the reality of this part. Could be other team, could be in Nashville, it could be something like that. So anyway, we have a lot on the program. So let's start with the first game, and you jump on it, and then I will follow you.
Well, so the Penguins were down, and it looked like the Islanders were going to walk away with it, and the Penguins come back. So great game for the Pens. It went into overtime. They scored with actually the Islanders I think came back now. What am I talking about? Did Barzal?
No, it's Malkin scored the last minute.
Sorry. So Barzal scored at 13 minutes to make it 3-2, and it looked like it was over.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Malkin jumps in there, and we know that he's had a rough start to the year, so it's good to see him. He gets his third with 18 seconds left.
Yeah.
And then they go into overtime, and Sidney Crosby wins it with the quintuple deke. Scoring.
If you have a chance to see this game or this goal, or if you have a young kid play hockey right now, if you want to see something there, you have a lot of beautiful, great goal in NHL. But the way with Crosby, he'd take at least 10 times signaling the puck left and right before he put this nothing, boom, in the corner, top corner, on his backhands. And I think at that moment we were together on the clubhouse, and you said Varlamov stopped to completely. He looked like he was freezing after the sixth time he moved the puck. Check this part right there.
He just totally froze on them. So here's the Barzal one. Barzal gets stopped by.
He was the only goal in shootout.
Yeah. So here we go. It's coming up.
The big game for the Pittsburgh because first of all they were Extall Burke first game. Honestly,
good reaction.
Second thing, it was also a game now 6-5-1, and now Islanders, they catch up the Islanders on the standings, so that's any good news about that. And now more longer now the injuries coming back slowly one by one, so it's good also for Pittsburgh to have this, and great to see this Smith have a good game in front of the net
Very
for
good
the
game.
on that part over there. So that's good to see that. And
Pajot scored, Suzuki scored, Rust is back on the board, so Rust will start. That'll be an important player for Pittsburgh. He's got 10 points, but 3 goals in 12 games. You expect a little more from him at this point. But
yeah, the reason why you said that is because he played on the first line with the big guns. So that's the reason why.
Too, so.
That's the reason why. So Pajot scored for them, and also, I think
Suzuki scored.
Yeah.
So in the next game, because we have a lot of games to get to, your hometown Florida Panthers shock us, beating a Stamkos Tampa Bay Lightning 5-2.
I want to see Anthony showing up, buddy. I want to talk about this.
Yeah,
since the beginning of the year, you hear me many times here. You guys, you watching the show. I always said Florida will be legit only when they're going to win against Tampa Bay and Carolina, and they're going to make the playoff because that's what they're going to do. And you know what's happening right now? It's not only the fact now they're beating Tampa Bay, Michael. More they win the game, right? One after night, everything like that. So now they gain more chance to stay in the playoff because the other team is going to play more for 500. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So they can finish now 550. They would be fine. I really believe they would be right on that standing over there for that part. But again, I follow Tampa Bay at Florida. Now you said 5-2. I will tell you why happening yesterday.
Another good game for Bobrovsky. Wow.
So you have two things happening this game, Michael. You have the Panthers play the best game in the last 2 years in hockey, and you have the Tampa Bay play the worst game in the last 2 years. So that's what's happening 5-2.
Well, no Kucherov, no Stamkos. So
of
now
course, Stamkos got an undisclosed injury yesterday morning, so he was not in the lineup. That's hurt. But I tell you one thing. Look, the shot only 22, I believe, from Lightning versus 28. The giveaway puck, the turnover, it was not great for Tampa Bay. You can see those difficult 21 shot, right? So it's rare they have 21 shot. The only stat was good for them. They scored 2 goals on 3. It was 2 goals from point. But if you look around this game, you can see they struggle all night versus a solid team like Panthers took advantage of the mistake from the defenseman, and also another great performance, Sergei Bobrovsky. He's now at, I believe it's 501 or 601, and I believe it's 5, maybe 6. And he's the second best goaltender in the history of the Panthers. Have a start like that. The first one was John Verbrinsky book with So again and again, like we talk about this, and many times you said about this kid, Alan Weber scored his 3rd goal, his 3rd straight game with a goal yesterday. An amazing pass from Jonathan Huberdeau. Yeah, by the way, he was his 300 assists in NHL career for Huberdeau on that game for that goal for Weber. Again, you have also Anthony, and you guys, you talk about Owen Tippett. You have an assist on a great goal of Vetrano,
Frank Vetrano. So, and he's been a consistent performer. Huberdeau over, and bam, you got Wenberg.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of good news there, I would say, for Florida. When Wenberg's getting points, Ekblad continues to be
Look, he's got 4 or 5 goals.
4 goals now. But Carter Verhaeghe playing against the whole team.
7 of the year.
7 goals, Pierre. This is a big, probably number 2 centerman that can skate, and he's getting points consistently. So this is great news for Florida. What a great signing.
Yeah, they use him on the wing side.
Are they?
I think so, because they use Weber, Seguin, and Parkov, and they split. They split. One they don't work well, they bring back Huberdeau with Parkov. One they work well, they split the both players over there. And they have Tuclair or Vis, and they put him on the second line with Huberdeau.
So he's playing wing with Barkov?
So again?
They show him playing wing with Barkov. I didn't
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
how that
Yeah.
helped.
So sometimes Parkov play with Orvis. Sometimes they shift him over there. One thing also happening yesterday, Brett Connolly, because we talked about him yesterday morning, scored his first goal of the year.
Yep, that's
It
good
was
news
a
too.
7th game of the season for him. So that's a good news for the Panthers to have Connolly on the board. That's a great thing. But overall, it was a great performance for the Panthers yesterday. And yes, now Anthony, you hear me? They are legit.
All right. Let's see. What was the next game? I'm gonna.
Montreal. It was Montreal again, Edmonton.
You're gonna go all the way there? That's way over here. Jeez. All right. So Edmonton, Montreal.
Well, yeah, because the game was 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, because they move up. First of all, we need to talk about this. They pushed back the game. They
Another.
pushed back the game at 8 o'clock because COVID-19, right?
Yeah. Right.
So what's his
the
name?
stories of the game quickly were Mike Smith makes 38 saves. So we know he's been on the injury reserve for a while. He comes back. Koskinen's now in COVID protocol.
He's not. I just want to.
Not?
No. So what happening?
Oh, good. Okay, good.
The reason why we mentioned this is he was very close with yeah, and he didn't want to take a chance. So for one night, they set him down and wait for today. Others this morning have all the players on testing. We're going to get the result. If I get the news, I will let you know before the show is over.
Okay.
But yes, he was not because precaution.
Got it. So the first goal is scored by Jujhar Kharia, former Everett Silvertip. Good to see Jujhar get on the board. It was a nice goal, actually. And that's his second goal in, I think, 3 games. So he's heating up a little bit. He's got 5 points in 7 games. He's a big guy, but he doesn't play like necessarily like a big power guy, but he's got a little bit of skill. Like he's an effective third line guy who can flex up a little bit. So if his production's been really good, that's good news for Edmonton, and like to see him succeed. Darnell Nurse gets his 6th of the year, Pierre.
Yep.
12 points in 16 games for Darnell Nurse.
Honestly, he's going to be on my list for the top 5 next week. He's a number 1 with most goals from a defenseman with Jeff Petrie. Some people flourish more. We just talk about the kids for the Florida Panthers, Chris Verhage,
yeah.
Right? It's a surprise with 7 goals. Daniel Nurse, he's a surprise for them. With this win, it was the 6th win for the Oilers for the last 7 games. Their 3rd straight W. So everything looking great over there. And
they're climbing out. I mean, that's a really great coach team. And then Tyson Barrie, more good news, has another solid game, gets another goal. So I mean, they're starting to come together a little bit. I've never loved him 5-on-5, but if he's getting points like that, which he traditionally has, he's usually like a 50 to 55 point in an 80 game season.
I'll be honest with you. Did you see the goal?
His goal? Was it a fluke?
It was a bomb, like on the blue line. Like this shot was like top corner from the blue line. It was like, oh my God, this was like not many can stop this one over there. Nobody touched it. It goes straight top, 3rd of the year. But again, I would be honest with you. When you see him on that side, he looked like Bobby Orr. But when you see him on the another side, look like is.
It's funny how they're winning too. It's not like they're getting those big games from McDavid and Draisaitl don't always turn into wins for them. So
this is a great. I like the fact you mentioned this part because look, the 3 last game they win. Look how many goals they have. McDavid, Draisaitl. How many do you think?
Well, they didn't score last game. They didn't score this game. So
no, only 1. That's it.
Now they're getting assists, and their points are off the charts. But I think that's padded with the Sens games, maybe.
Yep.
I mean, they're both great players, but it's good news when they're getting scoring depth. The guy that needs to get going, and we talked about this last night, is Kyler Yamamoto. He's been very quiet. So we expect.
Yes, he have a chance yesterday. Have a couple of chances, but not like I agree with you right there. He struggled a little bit. I just want to mention to you, it was the 40 shutout in career for Mike Smith. So
40.
yeah, 40. So it was good to see him, and I give him the star of the night because he's what 41, 42. It was his second game back from injury, and he was looking sharp. To be honest with you, I watched the game. He was solid, controlling. You know, he's always shaky sometimes, right? And we have to give credit right now. And the good news are for the others right now. Now they have someone can support Koskinen, and that's a good thing for news for them.
That's really good news for them. They weathered that storm. All right, let's go to the Columbus Chicago game. It was a wild one.
It was a wild one because when
I thought Chicago had this in the bag, but you can never count out Columbus. We said this in the playoffs last year. We continue to get great performances from some of these players. The ones
go ahead.
Well, Pius Suter scores again, and Jack Roslovic is like
2 goals yesterday.
And the one was a rocket from above the circle. It was almost at the point, I think. So we're seeing why Jack Roslovic wanted out of Winnipeg. He believed in his abilities, and he was right. And I think a lot of GMs around the NHL were kind of like quietly saying, hey, I could use this guy as a second line center. But I don't think I don't know. Did any of us, I don't know. It's hard to say. I remember with the U.S. development team, he was with that group with Austin Matthews, and he was like the second or third best player on that team.
Yeah, but again, it's a time, right? You have an opportunity right now. We have no center over there to get that opportunity. You know what I mean? Like if you play Ottawa right now, you have more opportunity.
It's top of the circle.
Yeah.
So, he can play. This guy can shoot the puck. He's creative. He can skate. We saw a goal the other night where he deked out. He split the defenseman. So he's an impressive guy. They totally got a steal. I thought they won that deal, but now, if they can get Laine in line, they're going to be in great shape.
We cannot blame Lankinen yesterday.
No.
Like he gave 6 goals, but he got another great night of 38 to 40 shot yesterday against face. Chicago lost 2 good players yesterday. They lost Andre Shaw, and I'm concerned about him. He's back on the concussion protocol. Could be the end for him, to be honest with you, Michael. So something. I'm sorry?
Sorry, which player?
Andre Shaw. Shaw.
Oh, Andrew Shaw.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like 5 times now in concussion. So, is the reason why Montreal was carefully trade him.
I think it's
almost the end, Michael. I don't know.
Worse and worse does not get better. The effects of that are going to.
And Chicago lost also their first defenseman, Murphy, yesterday. So for 7-10 days, does not help. You know what I mean? So
you look at the D, looks very with Madison Bowie, Calvin.
Can you check the time on Laney?
Yeah, 20 minutes, Pierre.
20 minutes. So
he only had 2 shots.
Yeah. But he have not a bad game. I just want to be sure we get we have Kane score his 7th of the year also for Chicago. That's another good news for them. They bring Cat score his 7th of the year also at the end of the game. It was a game like back and forth, honestly. But the 2 goals at the end of the space of 1 minute, maybe the last 2 goals. Del Soto and Stanley.
18 and 18:46. So
yep.
Last 3 minutes of the game.
And then 4 goal, Michael, on the 3rd period. So it was quiet until there. Like it was like a 3-2, I believe, at that beginning of this period. And then come back with 6-5. So it's a lot of things there. And, Korpisalo, we have a bad night, but it's happened sometimes. So, Columbus did them. Now they are 7-5-1, I believe.
So we'll go to the next game, which is Detroit versus Nashville. This was close, a battle of the basement dwellers.
Yep.
Robbie Fabry gets another goal in his comeback. Mark Stahl scored for Detroit. And we see Ryan Ellis, Matt Duchene get on the board. And then it wasn't decided until the last minute of play, which is kind of disappointing. Dante Fabro makes it 3-2. So it wasn't like the most exciting game. Man, I do not love the way Nashville's playing. I mean, it's,
I continue they said the same story. Detroit keep working hard. They
they
try
do.
to, they do, they're showing up every game. Again, they not lose 6-1 this game,
Oh no.
3-2. If you look about the score against Florida, they lose by 1 goal.
I mean,
Long season, I understand that part over there. Really win again for them, so that's good news. But again, I feel they going to struggle. I don't see them in the in
no.
the
I
in
don't
the
know.
playoff.
It's over.
It's not worry, but it's be hard for them.
I don't see unless they make a coaching change. I don't see it happening. All right. Well, I won't belabor that game. So then we have. We'll touch on this quickly. Winnipeg absolutely crushes the Jet or the Sens.
But you know what? Check the shot. Ottawa was all over Winnipeg until they scored 3-0. All right. It was 26 shot versus 11, and they gave 3 goals. And then it was now Murray out after the third goal. It was over for him at the end of the second period. They bring the rookie over there. It was good night for him. And honestly, Ottawa ran out for the last 4 games. They outshot opponent team by 10 shot usually, but they cannot score. So that's the problem there. They cannot finish it. They cannot do this like you can see right now, Murray stats. And that's the reason why just Norris scored his second goal of the year. But again, it was at the end. It was 5-0. Winnipeg, I'm not said they did not play bad. They play very good. It's just like they took advantage. And I have to give credit. You talk about who do you talk earlier? Nurse. We talk about Venverie. We talk about Roslovic. Nikolai Heller. 9 of the 9 is 4 goals the last 3 games. So we have to give him a good. We always think about Sheffield, Whaler. Those players over there. One is quiet now. Is Kyle Corner for the last 3 games, 4 games. Very quiet for them with Sheffield. Sheffield Corner didn't score at least for the last 3 games. I cannot because I do all the stat every game,
and yet he's got 7 goals and 13.
no, so he's not pretty bad. But if you go drop his stats game by game, just go lower.
He'll be fine. But
you see the stats on the bottom.
Isn't that weird?
Usually, if you go on the bottom of the stat, you can see his stat game by game. So anyway, I was just trying to tell you he didn't score for the last couple of games. But again, Perrault is good, second of the year. For him, it's good for him. So
time there, but
Halibut, he was in the net for them. Again, that's
he's a great goalie. I mean,
Winnipeg is getting better now. For they won, I think, the last 3 games. They are 8-4-1, and they are 1 point behind Montreal, I believe, and they are third in the division, maybe.
So they have 17 points. Edmonton and Montreal are tied. So that last night was a big game, but Montreal's 2 games in hand. Winnipeg has 3
Montreal.
games. So anyways, it's really bunched up there, and Calgary's definitely not out of it. But you can see Vancouver and Ottawa are heading.
They are out. So if you think this right now, top 5, one of the 5 there is going to be out of the playoff. That's it.
Yeah, which is
unfortunate. I will believe that's one. You can go a little bit lower. Boston division, right?
I don't see New Jersey. They have a lot of games in hand, but I don't see that happening. Buffalo.
I believe you're right about this one over there. But I think on that division, you have 16 to make 14. Again, we cannot blame also Buffalo. So we have to be a little bit long. We have to wait a little bit long because we see the next 5-6 games for them.
Yeah, I think they'll be in it. I think Pittsburgh's going to get it better. New Jersey, I don't know. This is a tough division. I don't believe in the Rangers. New Jersey might surprise us, but they're not going to make it. I think you're right. I think it's Boston, Philly, Washington, Islanders, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo.
Yep.
I mean, obviously Nashville and Detroit are out. Dallas needs to pick it up a little bit.
Missing Radulov. Sekera was back yesterday, but he cannot score for the last 3 games, so that's the problem they have. They're missing Taylor Seguin too, so that's another problem there too. We'll go talk about the games coming.
So, anyways, all right. So let's go to the next game: Hurricanes versus Stars, which we were talking about. To your point, I mean, they get 3 goals. Carolina
is the way they play, and that they didn't lose. They lose the last 3 games. They got 1 point on the last 3 games. Be honest, we have to give credit to Reimer yesterday. Sometimes he's not shaky. Sometimes he look bad in front of net. Whatever Carolina win, but yesterday he have a very good performance. If you got the shot on Star, I think they have 35 shot yesterday against Reimer, and great performance from him. 37.
Yeah.
So good performance for him. Honestly, how open up the score the first period was only 1-0. Piszczek he scored his first goal as a member of the Dallas Star for them. Jordan Staal, we talk about him. It's another one. You have a great start of the year. Pavelski scored finally his 8th of the year, was stopped the last couple of games. But I want to talk about this kid. And I don't know if you know who really win. Brock McGinn.
Yeah, he scores again.
He scored the last 3 games back to back. He have a straight. I'm
5 goals in 11 games from Fergus, Ontario. So that's between Guelph and Orangeville. It's a little farming community.
But again, you talk about those kids, right? Shemnikov is quiet for the last couple of games. He got assists. How he was only is is this the 5th of the year? How?
I think it's the 5th, yeah.
But he have a 1 point of assist. Nate Raider scored yesterday. That's a good news for them too.
It's only his 3rd.
Yeah, exactly. He have 9 assists or something like that.
Yeah, he's got 9 assists or 10 assists. So, but we've seen in the past, Brock McGinn can score a little bit. He had 16 goals and 10 goals. His production's been down, but to get 5 goals in 11 games, I think it'll obviously wear off at some point.
He have 0 assists, by the way.
Yeah, he doesn't need assists. He's getting goals, Pierre.
It's funny.
But think about Brock McGinn. He's a good 2-way player, and he's traditionally on the 4th line on the team. So I think for you to get him up in the lineup and get those types of points, it's awesome.
That's great. It's good news for them to get that part over there.
Very good for them.
And then you have Trocheck doing well. And then you have Staal doing well over there. The team is really,
they're going to get better and better. Fogel gets another goal. Aho gets his 8th assist, so he's got 11 points.
And he was back on the ice yesterday. The goaltender Peter yeah, so he was returned on the ice yesterday. So I think we expect him maybe in the next week, something like that. Brother Mo said at the press conference. So we'll see. Dallas missing Radulov right now. That's hurt them for sure. But again, they cannot handle the team. I think the score was 3-3 at some point. And
close. And then Niederreiter scored the game winner in the 3rd, and then Warren Fogle
scored 3 goals back. They was winning 3-2, Michael.
Wow.
So
it's another one. So good game. Not lopsided. Let's talk about a game that looked good, but not good for the Canucks.
Well, I think it was one of the best game Canucks yesterday, the last 5 games.
Yeah.
If you look that game, I'll be honest with you, they struggle a lot, but yesterday for the first time they're showing up. And the reason the Flame win yesterday, because they had that goalie last year, and now he played on the red team, and it was Max Strom. That's him. He's handled there. By the way, it was the 600 game of Jay Bagel in NHL yesterday.
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive.
Yep. Look the shot, Michael, 34.
I know.
So Max Strom have a great game in front of the net. Johnny Gaudreau, you talk about players performing great since the beginning of the year. As another one, score his 8th of the year. Mangiapane scored his 4th goal of the year, his 3rd game straight with a goal. So it's good news to see him go there. Bozer scored his 10. He became the 2nd best scorer in the AHL right now.
Wow.
That's good news for that part over there for Vancouver. But still,
I did not really. They've played a lot of games, right?
Yeah, they are now 6-11. They have 17 game play right now.
But still, very good for him.
Yep.
I want to point out that there was calls last year to trade Johnny Gaudreau and rumors to Montreal, And I continuously said, you don't trade a Johnny Gaudreau.
He was also part of the Flowers
Yeah,
rumor.
guy, you never trade a player like this.
I don't think so. I think you have to be patient. Sometimes it Flowers and again, I don't know what this rumor is coming from. I think because at the end of the day, look how many points he has last season. He's almost like 1 point per game.
That's why I said, like, it's ridiculous. It doesn't,
Yep.
like, those rumors were stupid as far as I was concerned. Okay, he
Yep.
had 58 points in 70 games.
But again, it's what, 1.8? 0.8?
Yeah,
So,
it's down, but it's not like he's garbage. Like, he's very, it's the guy who was down, honestly, was Monahan. So I think Monahan was the guy that
he
traditionally,
struggled again this year, Michael.
yeah, which is unlike him.
I think he have only 2 goals this year.
Is that it?
I didn't see him a lot on the scoreboard.
Goals. He's got 11 points, but only 2 goals.
I know.
Now, Lindholm is playing very well. Kachuk's great.
Yep.
I mean, they've got some balance, but you definitely traditionally expect more offensively. But even look at Monahan; he ends up with 22 goals.
But again, Michael, look, the record is only 7-5 and one was 7-2. So what I said to you, I expect more for them. I put them first place in division.
Would you have ever thought that Milan Lucic would have 6 points in 13 games?
He have a good year. That's another one good year for them. I think the problem this year so far was more the defensive side. They struggled there a little bit more, but they lose a couple of games where they could win. Again, Winnipeg, they lose 2 of the 4 by 1 goal. And that's what they are. But I think this team can be good. But I think the consistency is the word for this team. They're going showing up, and then they fall apart. They're going showing up, then they fall apart. And that's why they are 7-5-1, Michael.
So, I mean, they have, Riddick is not playing well. So they got to get us a little bit of a break for Markstrom. I think that would help, but it's risky right now, right? Like, one guy's playing very well, like you expect him to, and the other guy's not.
How many games he played? 3 games? 5 games?
He's 0-2, so that hurts. Because otherwise, Markstrom is 7-3-1, Pierre.
He was hurt at the beginning of the year, by the way.
Riddick was? Okay.
Yeah. He had a bad game again Montreal, then he came back solid the second game. But again, I think the time for him need a little bit more. It's a team, I'm not worried about them. I think they're going to make the playoff, to be honest with you. That's the team between Montreal, Calgary, Edmonton. They're going to fight for that second, third, fourth spot over there. And I think that division is only one way. It's Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto's kind of running away with it. All right, well, let's talk about another surprise, which I guess we shouldn't be surprised because he's an amazing goalie. John Gibson pitches a shutout versus the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And who scores for Anaheim?
Maxime Comtois is 6th of the year, and the late goal at the third period. Honestly, I don't want to say Gibson is not great. I just said the Vegas played the worst game. It was the worst game of the year for them. On the flip side, and I'm hanging there. They do very well. But I think the reason why Vegas play bad is because look the colors of the helmet, the bucket.
Those red jerseys were they? Oh my god! These gold. Hell.
There was a goal. They have some picture I put on the Facebook. Is like this was terrible.
I like keep wearing it. It's awesome. Well, when have we ever said, well, Vegas is not playing well? Not very often.
That's the first time of the year. They are 8-2. It was the second loss of the year. But in general, it was not like, sometimes like one player have a bad game or is off one night and then he's fine because maybe another step up. Last night, it was everybody. They could not generate any offensive. Gibson make the big shot. Like, how many shots they have? 20, 28 maybe? 21. How many?
Well, Gibson faced 21 shots.
So that's not Vegas is.
They're usually 30, 25, 30.
Right? So I think, but again, and I need that one that give them a 500. And again, you know what? You always remind me this, and every time I say Anaheim I said Michael is right. They have a good player inside that team.
I think they do.
They don't have a bad forward if you don't go, So I think you're right about that. As a team should be where they are right now. a 500 team, better to So I think good for them to win. Mr. the Iron Man, I call him the Iron Man. Gibson got another shutdown for him. He was a 22nd in this career, Michael, and congrats for him. He was back after a healthy scratch the game prior for laceration. He drove from home to Vegas, but good for him.
Like, who's got numbers? This guy's like a Vezina caliber goalie.
Yeah.
He's so good. All right, well, let's go to the next
Remember,
game.
at some point, they have Frederick Anderson with him.
Yeah, and they got rid of Anderson. Like,
They have to.
Like, he's so good. I hate to see them waste a guy's career like that. So they got to make sure they do something. I think Zegras will be a big difference maker. And if Josh Manson comes back,
you talk about him, my question to you, I will ask you this: why or when did you expect him to come back? Why he's not up?
I have no idea. He should be up. I mean, he's gonna play probably 2 or 3 more games, and they're gonna have their hand forced because I think he'll just wreck the AHL.
Go ahead, next one.
Well, surprising game from the LA Kings, now playing with the team that Pierre thinks can make the playoffs, which I don't necessarily agree with that, but 5-2. Who would have said the LA Kings would have beat them 5-2?
6-2, Michael.
6-2. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to steal a goal. Was it 6-2? 6-2. Jesus. So we get 2 goals from Thomas Hertl. So we consistently are seeing offense from Hertl and Meyer, which is who you expect. Vlasic gets an assist, but he's a -1. Carlson's -1.
They removed Matt Jones during the game. Inconsistency was the word I expressed to you yesterday about them. I don't know. I'm wrong on that one. I was expecting more. I thought the fact they play with injury at the beginning of the year last year would be changing. Couture have a good year so far, but overall the team is not produced with the defensemen they have there, and that's sad, but that's real too. But then we have to give credit yesterday to the rookies from the Kings. You have Dolan score over there that helping them also. Austin Warner score his 2nd of the year. Overall, it's just Jeff Carter score his 2nd of the year. But again, one thing we don't mention, they scored 3 goals, Michael, on power play on the 6 attempt. That's make a difference. When you a special team produce, that's how usually you win those games.
Yeah, for sure. So good for them. Who was in that? Was it Quick?
No, Peterson. Quick is he's on the timeout right now. He's on the corner.
Well, so this is another goalie that I've been saying for a number of years. Like, watch this guy because he's so good. Like,
he produced, look his stats, Michael. He have an amazing stat. He's doing well in front of the net, and the reason they win those 4 games right now is because of him.
Yeah, he is. You could see it like 2-3 years ago in camp. I'm like, wow, this guy is very good.
No, he's really good. You have a 260 maybe with them now.
But this is what I always look at with a goalie is the save percentage, and he's a 926.
Yep.
He's 922. Before that, he's 924. These are NHL games.
Yep.
I mean,
I watched him for the beginning of the year, and he's not a rookie anymore, right?
No, he still technically is.
Yes.
Well, can you be a rookie at 26?
You can be rookie at 39.
No, you can't.
Yes.
No, they changed it to 25 or 26.
How many games he played last year?
8.
8?
Yeah, let's look here because I think they changed it after Makarov. Be considered a rookie. Any player at least 26. Okay, so is not considered a rookie. So I don't think he is. So he's not. He's a little too old now. He's 26, I think. Let's look here. So what? He's 26. So he's not a rookie.
Yep, you're right. So anyway, that's not make.
But he's still a very good goalie. I mean, he's been good every time you put the guy in. You got a chance to win, which is really nice. This is why they traded Jack Campbell, and we're not worried about it.
Yep.
I thought they would actually keep him in Campbell, but they're loyal to Quick. No Drew Doughty in this game.
Yeah, he played 3 assists yesterday. It was
Yeah.
a game decision, and they put him back. He have 3 assists yesterday. But I didn't put him on the star of the night because.
Game, Pierre.
So again,
I can't watch the game because I'm blacked out.
I know.
So annoying. Well, I'm going to Texas tomorrow, so I'll be able to watch the Kings.
Here we go. Finally, we have one more game, right?
I don't think
No,
so.
you may be done now. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Postponed, so
We have, between the two games we have tonight, we couple of news from you. Another drama in Arizona. The fire Steve is Sullivan.
why?
That's the drama.
What the hell? Why?
So here's the story we hear after that. I check a little bit more deeper. He applied for the job as a manager, GM.
In
And
Pittsburgh?
no, I start with New Jersey during the summer. And he was the drama with Chika, whatever his last name. So anyway, so finally they removed him yesterday of that situation over there. I just want to mention a couple of things about injury around the league. If we have time right now, we have a couple of minutes. Rick Tuckett for Arizona, talking about them. They expect OEL, Michael, and Ranta would be ready for the tonight game. So we expect him tonight to be in the lineup. So that's good news. The status of Fisher is TBD. And the forward, Cagiola, is it Cagiola?
Yeah.
Yeah, he skated before the practice yesterday, so we expect him the next couple of days maybe to come back over there. Like I said earlier, the Blackhawks, Andrew Shaw, and also Murphy are out for at least 2 weeks minimum. The Columbus goaltender, Meslikin, was activated from the ER yesterday, so he was back as yesterday on the lineup. If we talk about the Rangers, expect Jonathan Bernier would be able to return during the weekend. So they miss him for the last 2 weeks. Picard was the goaltender number 2 at that moment. You expect now they confirm Nashville Ekholm, and we said yesterday he's become now weeks to week with an unspecified injury. Remember, his wife they got a baby like a couple of days ago, so that's maybe helping there. It's confirmed Johansson also is a week to week for Nashville. Was a welcome back, and we didn't mention this, but Ashton Reese came back with the Pittsburgh yesterday. He scored his first goal. I think it was his first goal, first game, Michael, the last 6 months for him.
Wow.
That's good for him to see that. The defenseman for the Blues, Scott Perunovic, will miss the remaining of the season with a left shoulder injury. Expect a surgery happening yesterday. And then finally, Steven Stamkos missed last night's game with a lower body injury. He missed day today. And during that game, Anthony Cirelli left the game at the late game. I think it was during the third period with an arm injury. But you have to be confirmed about this. Cooper didn't mention anything about that after the game. So it's something we have to follow up the next couple of days about Cirelli. Because now, you cannot accumulate the Stamkos, Kucherov, Cirelli, some player like that. You know what I mean? Because it'll be hard for them.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
It'll be tough. Then we have 2 games on the program tonight. That's pretty much what's going on around the league. Detroit does the same shopping every day. They send back Smith and whatever his last name, on the Texas squad today. Again, this is only for the salary cap, Michael. It's nothing major over there. It's just the way they do this for save a little bit money, $1,000 per day. Expect him to come back tomorrow when they're going to play. So that's what you do.
Rangers again, Blues and Coyotes. Guess I'm not that excited. Whatever.
Yeah, 2 games tonight on the program. Honestly, it's Boston versus the Rangers. Boston won the last game, and then St. Louis plays St. Louis, Arizona. Michael, I think this is the 5th or the 6th game since the beginning. That's the 5th game in this year because the 2 game play last weekend because it was the COVID situation, and they changed the schedule to let them play together because they was already there. And Arizona win the first 3 games on the 4 between both formations. So tonight they're fifth between them. Expect Bennington and Kuemper back in the as a goaltender starter for the Boston. Rask is confirmed as a goaltender for them, so expect him to be there. Rangers, I expect the is it just Chesterkin? Chesterkin?
Yeah,
Goaltender?
Shurkin or whatever it is, the Russian kid.
Yeah, so I expect him to be there. About for them. Panarin is questionable tonight, Michael.
Why?
Injury, minor injury happening. So expect him maybe not play. That's something we have to look about that one over there. Honestly, Samsonov is back on the ice. You get his practice, so expect him to be a starter. I feel he's going to be a starter tomorrow when he's going to play.
They need to get Zibanejad going.
Yeah, well, Washington played the last 3 games, and I think injury for DJ, OG, and all the COVID-19 did not help them the last couple of games. But I think they're going to be back all together. So,
sorry, I was thinking the Rangers need to get Zibanejad going. Washington, yeah, Washington's fine. I mean,
well, Rangers, the problem right now, they need to figure out with Tony and D'Angelo what's going to happening there. I think they will need help.
Anything out, Pierre? Nobody's going to touch that guy.
Well, they talk about the fact they heard on the TSN Insider, they talk about they have 4 teams looking about that one there. One thing I don't know if you heard about the rumor about the draft lottery.
I've heard a couple things that they're going to delay it. Do you think that'll?
But first, they would try to change the way they do the draft lottery. That's the first thing. Yeah, so it would be the second time the last 7 years they try to change it. But again, what you try to mention to us, they're looking maybe to have a new way to do the draft for the next year because the situation this year. So it'll be very interesting about that one over there.
They screwed Detroit. Like Detroit should have had a first or a second overall pick by now, and now you're going to go back.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
That's something they're looking for the next. They have maybe a 2-way or 3-way they're going to do for the draft for next year. Maybe delay until 2022. That's something they're looking maybe at the beginning of the year, Michael. So that's the news we have to follow up for sure the next couple of days or something because they will going to vote about that part for sure. For the draft, honestly, try to find any other news. We are about 6 minutes from the release of the waiver list. Yeah, nobody was on the waiver yesterday for the NHL team. I don't know if you have anything you want to add.
Nope. All good.
I said, again, Anthony Panarin want to mention to you is a day-to-day with a lower body injury, and he will not play. Confirm right now. I can confirm this is last minute. He's not going to play tonight.
Is Anthony commenting?
And then Colin Blackwell is going to return to the lineup tonight versus Boston for the New York Rangers.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah. So he take the place of Panarin, to be honest with you. Do you have any comments? I don't know. I did not follow. I'm all over the place right now.
No, I'm good. I don't see any comments.
Any comments coming this morning? So people are.
You
got the okay. I didn't. I was sorry. I was on Twitter checking all the news, so I did not see this page in front of me. So yeah, that's the point about the potential draft scenario. What can you explain a little bit more what you said there?
It's a little confusing. So they're saying they'll keep the draft July 23rd, 24th as scheduled. It's the 2003 birth year, or they will move it to December and January. So I assume that would be first, second round, and then.
I believe that will happen, Michael.
I don't know why.
The OHL tried to start the season with 24 games, 30 games. The problem they face right now, they have over 40, 50 game play on the.
Actually, so the idea would be, let's say the OHL, WHL, and Q come back in September as normal. I could see the 2003s play at the beginning of that season and then draft them. So that makes
sense. Yeah, and December or January, right?
And then they're saying, well, let's push them all to the following summer, which I don't believe that makes any sense.
I don't think so. I think they have to go halfway.
Yeah, that the December January makes a lot of sense. Like if you're trying to give the OHL, like the CHL, the NCAA, a chance to come back, it gives you a chance to finally, like, we have not seen anybody. I mean,
I agree.
tier one championships are in Colorado this week. I mean, it's crazy. I haven't seen any hockey.
Yeah, I agree with you about that one over there. The Texas got the world championship junior, I believe, or something like that. Did you see that yesterday?
The
We
world
got the Dallas Star in Frisco. I believe it was in Texas, maybe in Austin or somewhere in Texas. The Dallas Star announced yesterday the world junior championship for U18, maybe or something like that.
It's the U18 IHF.
Yeah, there we go. So it was the news yesterday, announced in Texas. So that's good to see that for them. Back to your draft, I believe they should go. Now, many of the top players play right now on the SWL or Sweden, or they play in Finland or something like that. That helped a little bit. And the problem he was talking about them to come back in Canada to play OHL, that will hurt because they have to wait 14 days, quarantine, everything like that. So they play 24 games. They will maybe missing, maybe like 4, 5, 6 of them. So that's what the discussion yesterday about that. But I think,
I think it makes sense. The only, someone had their facts wrong, but saying the Vegas is doing the expansion draft, but Seattle's doing the expansion draft. So I think that's the only reason I don't think it'll happen. But what I can see is, like, maybe they do you should be able to do the first round in the summer. I don't know why.
I don't think so. They should wait until
just because
I like the idea January.
I like the idea of December, January, but
I think so. It would be the best way you have. Like you right now, you are part of the WHL, if you talk that, but like they will push everything scout to cover many games you can until for the next 6 months. After that, the first 4 months, and try to get the best information they can get. And then after that, go there. Then they back normal on the summer 2022. And that draft, Michael, at the beginning of January, it could be on Zoom like they do or something like that. They don't have to bring everybody to the same place.
They probably will if we're all spooked by this nonsense. And it's interesting how they're re-ranking stuff. I've never seen Matthew Beniers as first. If Matthew Beniers is the first overall pick, this is a terrible year.
They talk about the Russian kids is really the next Ovechkin. I don't know if you heard about him.
In this draft class or another draft?
I know it's like 16 or something like that. Like,
yeah, the one Russian. So he would be
his name. I crossed this name yesterday. Then I started to jump on it. Then I was busy to do something else. Jeez.
I know who you're talking about.
Let me check if I can find him. I'll let you know. Is it Michkov?
That sounds right.
Yeah. Matvey Michkov.
That's it. Matvey.
Yeah. So I know I crossed this yesterday. I know you know those all kind of play me. I'm not too much on prospects, so they expect
that good. Like, he is very good.
Do you believe because we have a couple of minutes? Do you believe Bernier is it Bernier for the USA?
No, he should not. If that's your first overall pick, the draft is garbage.
Do you not believe him? He's going to be the top 5?
Maybe.
Does it make sense?
He's a year older, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe. He's still on the list for that part.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but like, this is a guy they were talking about originally didn't have the high-end offensive skill. So he's a 2002 player being drafted with the 2003s. He's a product of a Michigan program that's stacked. I think he should be 8th to 10th in a normal year. I I don't dislike him, but is this guy he's an overager. Is he gonna step in the NHL? I think it's very questionable what he does at the NHL. I think Luke Hughes, you can be patient with guys like Hughes, Power, Edvinson. Eklund, I think, we haven't seen a lot of him. He's real good. Brant Clark's real good. Kent Johnson, like, how is Benner's better than Johnson? I think the goalie is excellent. Wallstead to me is really, really, that's a unique goalie. This guy is out. And I don't know why he's hurt, I think, still. I don't know if he's played yet. So that's the concern with him. I think he's probably as good or better than Benner's. And he's a year younger.
I like Lambertney.
But he's younger. Like, he's an 05.
No,
right?
but my point, like, I like this kid. Like, he's going to be a good player. Yeah, I mean.
So I just think it's going to be a weird draft year. That's why I say you could probably do the first round. It's going to be a nightmare no matter what.
Yeah.
I would if let's say Ottawa wins that, I do not take this guy at first. I pick a D. I think you got to pick a D, and you say, like, who do you like better, Owen Powers, Luke Hughes, or do you like Brant Clark? And I haven't seen Edvinson enough to know, but he's been consistently in that mix. Because I don't see any game-changing superstar offensive players. And the guy that could be that is Chaz Lucius, and he's not going to play this year. So you're taking some risks. I love the goalie. I mean, Wallstead to me is what you want in a franchise goalie. But I don't see anything that's guaranteed there.
I'm watching some stat in NHL 1920 for the playoff last year. The puck recovery, Yanni Gord have the most with 27. The second one was Barzal at 20. Puck recovery. The forecheck pressure, it was Jimmy Benn, 57. Anthony Cirelli, 54. That surprised me. And Blake Coleman with 50, with Mark Stone with 50. And the exit disruption was Nicolas Kucherov with 47 and Anthony Cirelli with 46, Max Stone with 46. So they give you another perception of what the player do also, not on one way, but the another way on the, for checking everything like that. I like those stats. I give, because we said last year, Cirelli have a bad playoff, did not score a lot of goals, but look what he did on the forechecking and exit. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we have to give credit on that one over there for sure. Recovery number 5. So again?
I think he's overpaid, but
no, he's only $3 million. 2 million.
5.
Cirelli? He got a new contract now.
Yeah, what did he get? 4.8, Pierre.
3.8?
4.8.
How long? 2 years?
4, isn't it? 3 years, 4.8.
He's a number 2, and I
think they paid him too much, frankly. But whatever. They'll be fine.
I just want to mention this is just happening right now. Chris Drury is a new general manager of the 2021 USA Men national team, Michael.
Chris Drury, the goalie?
No, Chris Drury. New York Rangers. Yep. I'm telling you, he's going to be a GM in the NHL the next couple of years.
For a while, he's done a good job, I thought. But
he's a NCAA college player, right?
Yeah. He played a long time too.
Yeah. So
Pierre, thank you. See you later on. Maybe we'll do Clubhouse on the weekend or tonight.
Yep, maybe. And happy President Weekend in the USA if you are in USA. And we have a lot of game tomorrow on the programs. Afternoon now, Michael. Game house will start to be afternoon. You have no NFL football anymore. So we're going to watch more game during afternoon. And I'm off this weekend, so I'll be around for sure to watch everything's going on in the league. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also on the Facebook page under Hockey Nation Live Show. Have an amazing, great Friday, an amazing, great President Weekend. holidays, everybody.
Wow, is there only 3 games on Monday?
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, thanks, Pierre.
Have a good one.